Hi, in today's magic episode we'll do a couple mods for this insane off-road Chinese beast. At first we'll increase size of the ventilation nearby ESC, otherwise ESC can fry because the ventilation holes are too small for this beast. And we'll prepare this skateboard for external battery. Thanks to it, we can increase working range and increase power because built-in battery pack is not the best ever, and if the battery will drop under 60%, then even when you push throttle to the limit, then it's not that jumpy like when battery is fully charged. But we can do any kind of mods you can imagine for this beast. And let's start with these two simple ones. In this black box under the skateboard we've got ESC and battery pack. So to open it we have to separate it from the deck. To do it we have to unscrew these 3 screws on the left, 3 screws on the right. Also, as you can see, under the deck we've got these 3 nuts for every single screw. When you remove all these 6 nuts, you have to cut these zips on the left side. Be careful, don't cut the cable, this is actually quite important. And now we can slide out the black box.
Easy.
Under this sponge, which is actually quite delicate, is ESC and battery pack. Be really delicate, don't try to rip it off. Oh shit. You know what, actually I'm pretty done at that point. I will just rip it off like this. We are in, as you can see, it looks almost the same like in 2018 edition. On the front we've got battery pack and on the back we've got ESC, and yeah, ESC is not covered by any kind of tape or transparent film, so be careful. At first I would recommend to disconnect the power cable, so this one. Now, even if you turn on the skateboard, it shouldn't work. Yeah, it's not working anymore. It's quite important. At first, disconnect battery. Now let's disconnect this cable and this cable. But be careful, don't damage the connector. So just hold it by your hand and try to remove it by the other hand. Now delicately, let's try to remove this ESC. And yeah, here we go. ESC with huge heatsink. Looks good, but yeah, it's not covered by anything. So if there will be some small metal piece, then you will get some short circuit. Hopefully it will not happen. It didn't happen in 2018 edition, even after more than 1 year, then hopefully it will not happen here. Now let's try to remove battery. It's quite heavy. How to do it? Yeah, it's really heavy actually. Okay. It's not glued to the case. Here we got one cable, so this one to charge the battery. Also we have to unpin, and now we can easily remove the battery. And this one is Lion 10S5P, capacity 10 amps, 36 volts, so 10S. Looks good to me. Under the ESC, so at the bottom of this black box, we can see ventilation holes, but these ones are too small to cool down this double beast. But this is just simple plastic shell, so we can easily increase the size of these holes. Use some simple drill tool, and also I recommend to make some extra bigger ones at the back. It will increase the airflow. I will use this bigger beastie. And the thing is, don't make this holes at the bottom too big, because as you can see, ESC is not protected, not covered by anything. So if there will be some bigger particles or metal pills, then there will be some short circuit on the ESC, because yeah, it's not secured by anything. So remember, make some small holes at the bottom and bigger ones on the back. I did the same mod in 2018 edition, and after more than 1 year it's still working perfectly fine, so hopefully it will work Still great for 2019 edition. Here is an idea how to know which cable is going which. So let's do one slide over here on this blue one and one on this green one. Over here let's do on this yellow one 2 times, and also over here 2 times. So now you will know. And over here let's do 3 times, and also over here 3 times. Over here 4 times, and also on this one 4 times. Yeah, as you guessed, over here we can do something different. Just long one, and over here just long one, because I'm too lazy to do like 5 the slides. So yeah, it will do the job. Now we can easily unpin these cables. Whoa, it's not easy. God damn it. Let's start with some middle one. Something like this will do the job. Yeah, now we've got perfect cooling system. Now it's quite difficult and precise job to do. We have to solder extra cable for the external battery onto these power pads over here. If you are not that skilled, then also you can remove some part of this protective silicone on the power cable and solder it straight to this cable. After it, be sure that you will secure the cables, that there will be no any short circuit in the future. In my case, I will try to solder it straight to these pads, and I will use 14 AVG cables. Nothing smaller like 12 or 10 AVG isn't needed, because this ESC is not that powerful. It can handle maybe 60 amps. So yeah, simple 14 AVG cable will do the job. This is how I done it. I noticed that the stock solder isn't melting even at 400 degrees, so this Chinese solder is quite insane. It was quite hard actually to connect it, but yeah, it's done. I think it doesn't look that bad, isn't it? And it will work for very long. Foxy, I've got a question. Do you like my work? Not bad? Thank you. Before we place ESC into black box, I would recommend to add some, let's say, vibration suppressor, because as you can see, there is no any sponge, no any rubber protection. So all the vibrations are going into the ESC, and also because of it, ESC can die, because this is off-road skateboard, isn't it? I would recommend to add some freehand tape, do some rolls, and place it between the ESC and plastic box. What is double tape roll? Well, actually this is quite funny, I just figured it out. So we have to cut small piece from this double tape. We have now to remove this protective cover. Somehow, one day, come on. Okay, now let's roll it. It can be like this. As you can see, it squeezes a little bit, and now place it on the screw like this, and yeah, it will suppress some vibrations. Even this simple thing can really increase lifespan of the ESC. Looks like it's done. So now let's place it back the ESC. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now is good time to drill 2 small holes in this black shell for the power cable for external battery. I think over here will be good spot. Yeah, somewhere over here. And just try to make the same size of the holes like size of the cable. Now is next funny part. I will use this quite hard ear plug to suppress some vibrations between the black shell and the battery. I will place it in the edges. I know it looks quite funny, odd, but it's working. Believe me or not, but it's working. Okay, so now let's place the battery. And as you can see, there is no bumps. So yeah, this simple idea actually is working. Now some extra isolation on every single power cable, just for safety reason, because over here we got some plastic edge, as you can see. So simple isolation tape could be a good idea. Now let's connect this cable for the power switch. Now let's connect this cable to charge the battery pack. So this red JST. Check the polarity. So black is at the bottom, red at the top is okay. This one is for LCD screen to see what is the voltage of the battery. Slide these cables. And don't connect battery yet. At first we have to secure these power ends. Now let's check all cables. Looks like it's okay. And let's connect the battery. It's always small spark, so no worries. Because the capacitors getting the charge, the power. After around 1 hour it's done. Just check this beautiful mod. Here you can see cable for external battery with XT60 connector. Looks nice, isn't it? Over here we've got bigger holes for ventilation at the bottom and new ones on the back. Also we can add some mesh over here so we can glue it to increase safety of using that simple cooling system. If you would like to increase the airflow, then we can add some 5 volts fan. It could be like 40mm size and connect it to ESC, because over there we've got 5 volts output, but then for sure add some mesh over here because we don't want to get any bigger dust or metal pills inside. I am sure that you are curious how to place battery box on this deck, and I've got quite simple answer. Use genuine 3M double tape and place it on this grip tape. After the warrior of testing, I had a problem to remove this 3M tape, so this is the best way to go. It's like no way after it to remove battery box. When you do it, just place your battery box on double tape, stick it, and actually it's pretty done at that point. And quite important thing, before you connect 2 batteries, so internal one and external one, be sure that they've got almost the same voltage. The difference can be only 0.02 volts. So you can connect 4 volts to 4.02 volts. The difference cannot be bigger because battery with higher voltage will deliver this difference to battery with lower voltage in like 1 second. So as you can imagine, something can go boom or the cells can be damaged. If you saw my Trump address before, you notice that I'm using strap around the battery box and the deck. Of course, between battery box and the deck I'm using 3M double tape. And if you would like to use the same idea on this Chinese bees, I can tell you now that this is quite bad idea, because the space between this black box and the ground is much smaller than in my trampa. So if this strap will just hook somewhere, we just stuck, then the deck will stop and you will just fly away. So don't do it. Use simple double tape on the top and it will do the job. In third episode I will show you how to remove this black box, how to move ESCs on the top, like in my trampa. It's over here in this black box, and also we'll move this internal battery, the stock one, to the top. But in next episode, quite important things. So I will show you how or what tension should have this belt, because this is quite important. If it will be too tight, then you will damage the bearings in the motors. If it will be too loosey, then we just slide over the pulley. Also, I will try to add some extra elastomers on these things to make this off-road beast a little bit more stable. This is what I love about this Chinese off-road skateboard. It's super easy to mod every single part, and inside we don't have any ecosystem. So if you would like to swap internal battery, then just do it. Remove old one, plug new one, and it's done. If you would like to add some extra one, as you saw, it's super easy to do it. If you would like to increase the power, swap the ESC. You can use something like, in my case, VEC Flipsky 6X Plus Dual, and just hold on something, because the power will be freaking insane. And for $600, honestly, there is nothing better on the market. If you would like to go further, then Trampa desk should be your next stop. If you like this episode, hit like button, subscribe. See you in next one.